count me down. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Hello, welcome.
In this series, you'll hear voice actors narrating the stories of our guest musicians. These are artists who navigate life and their craft with various disabilities and impairments, each forging a path to create powerful, moving music. Today, we're joined by the Lebanese singer and musician, Ziad Sinno.
I am Ziad Sinno. I'm a Lebanese national who came to Britain about 40 years ago. Music is a hobby, and I play professionally. I'm a singer. I play several instruments. I'm also a sound engineer and a music producer.
Ziad spent his early years in Beirut, attending regular schools despite having a visual impairment. Later, he continued his education in the Lebanese School for the Blind and Deaf in Beirut. From a young age, Ziad had a deep love for music. He followed his favorite bands, listened to them on TV, and regularly attended music events. That's how his connection to music first began.
There was a performance for the blind organized by the Ministry of Tourism in 1973. The first thing that caught my attention was that the ensemble had violins, oud, and percussion. It stirred something deep in me. A real passion, let's say. I was really drawn to it. I went over and started chatting with the members of the ensemble. After that, I enrolled in the Lebanese School for Blind in Beirut. They had a full school curriculum, of course. You had to study like everyone else. I progressed through it, thank God. But the very first thing, the only thing that truly grabbed me was music. From that moment on, I knew it was something I wanted to pursue. That's when my musical journey really began. I got involved in many music activities at the school and even appeared on Lebanese television. I joined other music groups as well, including an Arabic ensemble led by Maestro Salim Sahab.
Ziad continued pursuing music until 1985. But due to the political instability in Lebanon, which disrupted every aspect of life, including art and music, he decided to explore other career paths outside of music.
Because of the instability in Lebanon, anytime there was a disruption in the country, we as musicians had to stop working. Our work had to be cancelled right away. And we were often the last to be able to return to work after things had settled down. Also, my mother, back then there were no clothes dryers or anything like that. Whether it was summer or winter, she'd hang the laundry out to dry like every other family, on the balcony, even if it was pouring with rain or there were strong winds. Then she'd carry it all back inside on her back. Over time, she developed shoulder problems on both sides. That's when I thought, okay, I need to choose a goal for myself, or as they say, a source of income. So what will this source of income be? Music? Music isn't stable, even if I'm passionate about it. That was the reality back then. Our thinking at the time was you need a source of income and a way to be useful. So, what should I do? I decided to come and study here, study physiotherapy and do something useful for people harmed in the war. Of course, I always hoped the war would end. But anyway, the most important thing is I wanted to do something useful for people who were injured and support my mother and do something that was useful for me too.
However, Ziad wasn't able to complete his studies in physiotherapy. His eyesight deteriorated and he eventually lost his vision completely. So he started thinking about other options.
At the time, during training to be a physiotherapist, you needed to have good mobility and to be able to move around easily. For example, you had to go from one patient to another in the hospital and so on. And it wasn't easy to have someone assist you with that kind of thing. But every cloud has a silver lining. I changed direction and enrolled in a course on piano tuning and repairs. The idea was to complete the course and return to Lebanon to work in the music business. I hope to make a living from it as much as possible to secure a stable income.
The civil war in Lebanon in 1989 shut down all borders and airports. Ziad found himself unable to return home and ended up staying in London. But as he puts it, every cloud has a silver lining. He reignited his passion for music and began performing again with people he knew in London. Then, one day, something unexpected happened.
There was an exhibition called Sight Village for blind people. It showcases products for the blind, so I decided to go with a friend. We'd agreed on a time to meet, but when I arrived, I got a text saying, "Sorry, I can't come. He was sick." So I thought to myself, what are you going to do here, Ziad? What do you want to do? I got up, pulled myself together, walked around for a bit, and then decided to go home. I was crossing the street to catch a bus when a woman stopped me and said, "Are you going to the exhibition? Do you know where it is?" Everything changed from that moment on. Of course, she didn't know me and I didn't know her, but I said, "Yes, I'm going, and I know the way." She said, "Could you show us the way?" She was sighted, she could see. I replied, "Okay, why not?" As we walked together, she said, "On my left is my husband. He's an Indian musician and composer. He plays sitar and other instruments." And that's how we started to get to know each other. We ended up going to the exhibition together and stayed for the whole thing. Later, I invited him over to my place. And while we were chatting, he told me, "I have an ensemble called Inner Vision."
And so began Ziad's first chapter with Inner Vision Orchestra, a professional ensemble of blind musicians from diverse cultures, representing countries such as Britain, India, Afghanistan, Nigeria, Iran, Lebanon, and more. Ziad later joined the Para Orchestra as well, which opened the door to further opportunities.
At the time, we were invited to perform at the closing ceremony of the Olympics. It was an incredible experience. I remember Chris Martin from Coldplay was there performing too. We were sitting on stage getting ready to go on, and someone said to me, "Look, Ziad, look who's standing next to you." Of course, I can't see, but it was a metaphor, you know? He meant Chris from Coldplay was right there in front of me. And I was thrilled. Why? Because he saw me playing the oud. The oud isn't a well-known instrument to everyone. And people love discovering something different, so it worked in my favor. I thought, oh yeah, you know what? Chris from Coldplay is right in front of me while I'm singing and playing. He'll hear me. It was a really amazing moment. There was a huge audience watching and a lot of interest in us.
Alongside with the orchestra, Ziad wanted to work on his own project, singing and recording Arabic songs, some of which he used to listen to as a child. Ziad has taken advantage of various social media platforms to spread these songs. For example, creating a YouTube channel he calls
Ziadish Touch. There's a story behind that name. One day we were rehearsing with the Para Orchestra. It was Boxing Day and we were recording at Buckingham Palace. The whole group was working on a new melody, practicing together. I played it in a way that the artistic director, Charles Hazelwood, really liked. He said to me, "Ziad, keep that bit in. Play it exactly like that with a Ziadish touch." Of course, he said it just like that in English. And that's where the idea came from. Now, all my social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they all have two names. Lamasat Ziadiyya in Arabic or Ziadish Touch in English.
At first, Ziad just aimed to share the songs he produced using music software designed specifically for the blind. But over time, he decided that he also wanted to pass on his knowledge. So he began giving educational lectures, explaining how the software works and helping others learn to use it themselves.
وبعدين نيو هذا في حال بدك تبلش بروجكت أو مشروع جديد.
That's one of the challenges we face when it comes to composing and recording. Right now, I'm focusing on using this app called Reaper. It's a digital audio workstation, just like Cubase, Ableton, Logic, or Pro Tools. But I find it more accessible. I've started giving lectures about it and uploading them on my social media pages so people can benefit from them. I have this philosophy in life. I love sharing knowledge with others. There are many people, especially in our Arab countries, who may not be able to afford private tutors. As for me, I don't want to keep this knowledge to myself. I want to share it with anyone who can benefit from it, inshallah.
Ziad discovered these programs and software later in his life. He says that if he had known about them earlier, they would have made a huge difference. He could have produced many more songs. And while these programs are incredibly helpful, there are still complications and challenges that blind users face when working with them.
In music technology, there are still major challenges. What kind of challenges? Well, for example, you might find a program or an app that does exactly what you need, but it might not be compatible with the screen reader you're using. So you end up having to make do with whatever tools actually work for you. One challenge I faced, for instance, was with Windows. Let's say you're using Windows and you found a program that is compatible with the screen reader and you're comfortable with it and it works. Then suddenly, for example, the Windows people come and say, we need to update our software that it's compatible with the latest version of Microsoft. And that instantly compromises its accessibility, making it less accessible.
These days, Ziad is exploring a new idea.
Right now, something I'm also working on is playing outside as a street performer.
What began as a small experiment has opened up new horizons for him and introduced his voice to a new and diverse audience.
Maybe someone who's lived here 50 or 60 years from Lebanon, Palestine, Jordan, or another Arab country, or even just passed through this place, might hear my music and feel something. It brings back memories of home, makes them happy. That's one aspect of it. On the other hand, I'm also trying to share our culture, our musical heritage with others. The world has become very connected due to social media and that kind of thing. So I find playing in the streets really interesting. People stop, listen, and sometimes come over to talk to me. We exchange phone numbers. One day, for example, a film director from Newcastle heard me, took my number and got in touch later. He wanted me to be in a film. Another time, a musician from Birmingham invited me to join his band. Things like that. They open doors, they create opportunities.
Ziad told us about the many opportunities he lost early in his musical career, opportunities he was fully qualified for, but missed out on simply because he was blind. He recalled a moment when he was just trying to break into the music scene in Lebanon and had the chance to join an ensemble.
He asked me, do you read music? Do you read sheet music? I told him no, but I'm really confident in what I do. I can listen to a song once and pick it up right away. After that, I don't have a problem with it. But in the end, the ensemble insisted on all the members needing to read sheet music.
Despite its twists and turns, Ziad sees continuing in music as a powerful statement and message in itself.
I'm showing people that yes, we're capable and we have the energy to do it. At the same time, we face challenges ahead, and I hope people are willing and able to understand that.
Perhaps the work Ziad and others are doing to make technology more accessible will spare future musicians from the struggles he and many others experienced while asserting their fundamental right to share their art and be heard.
My message to everyone listening to you and to us is that this is what we're trying to do, to move forward together. Maybe one day things will change and become more accessible. For example, the apps and the software that we use, maybe they'll improve. I hope what I've shared benefits listeners and hopefully inspires others who are in a similar situation.
This episode was co-produced by Sowt and Komet Kashakeel, with voice actor Waj Ali narrating our guest musician Ziad Sinno. This episode was researched and written by Thaer Hussein and produced and edited in Arabic and reviewed in English by Jana Qazzaz. English translation and production is by Lauren Pepperell and Mahmoud El Saghir. Sound by Ahmad Mitry, Mohamad, Khreizat, and Mahmoud El Saghir. Managing producer, Tala Halawa. Access coordinator, Yaz Brien. Access consultant, Lightfoot. Our theme music was created by Ameer Moussa. I'm your host, Rana Daoud. We look forward to hearing your thoughts on this episode on Radio Thamania, and we would love your ratings on Apple Podcasts and Castbox. You can also connect with us on Instagram and X at Dumtak Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening right now. This season was funded by the British Council's International Collaboration Grant. Dumtak and loosely adapted are original productions of Sowt.